Hi guys, this video is an extension of the pop art portrait project. Just wanted to show you a few other tips that might help you out as you progress through this assignment. Okay, so you can see that I have this final pop art image here, and a couple things that you might want to have a better idea about are how to use the quick selection tool, making your image adjustments and how they should look, how to add in your multiple layers so you don't have to keep creating new documents for your pop art colors. Also, how to combine your layers, which is that final extension step in the directions, and also a fun way for you to choose your color schemes that you guys might like. Okay, so first let's look at the quick selection tool. Okay, so when you have your initial image, and this is my first one that I'm using of Tobe and Wigwe, um, when you have the quick selection tool chosen, you first want to right click on the object selection tool and then select the quick selection tool. Okay, so analyze my image. Um, and when I first click with the quick selection tool, you can see that sometimes it doesn't select your entire image. Now in the video, it did select all of hers. So what you might need to do is continue to click to add in more of the areas in your image. So I'm just going to keep clicking until I see that I have a pretty good outline around the entire subject. Okay. Now it's not going to select everything, which is fine. And I also haven't reduced the size to the 10 by 10, which is fine as well. I just want to show you you guys how this works. Okay. So now I have a pretty good area selected. So then I'm going to select the raster mask icon, and this will get rid of any of the other area of the background. Okay, now I could add another layer, put it underneath here, and fill it with a color. So that way I have something behind him, just so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my layer mask here, and then I'm going to press D on the keyboard to set my colors to black and white. I'm also going to select the brush tool. So now I can use my layer mask to erase parts of the image. So I want to make sure it's set to black, and then I can go through and take out any of those extra areas in the image that I did not want to have. Okay, so I can use the bracket keys to reduce the size of the brush and just go back around your subject to kind of clean up whatever the quick selection tool did not do well. Okay. Now I can zoom in with Control Plus, so that way I can make sure my areas are pretty clean. Okay. Any other little mistakes that I needed to fix? Okay. And I'm just going to go along his face. Okay. So just keep adjusting your brush size until you can kind of fit it in where you need it. And then I can do Control minus, and now I have my subject. Okay. And you can see that the image looks good for the original, but when you're doing this project, sometimes it may not turn out as well once you apply the threshold. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is select the adjustment layer icon and select threshold. Okay, and what you can see, of course, because the skin is dark, what it's going to do is make these areas even darker to increase the contrast. But when I lower the threshold to try and bring out details of his face, I start to lose the details in his shirt. Okay, so what I had to do was make adjustments to my image. All right, sorry guys, I had someone walk in my classroom. But anyway, so what I had to do was make adjustments to my image so that way the details would show up well with the threshold. So I'm going to turn off these layers. So you can kind of see the changes that I had to make to the image to get the threshold to look the way I needed it to and show me the details that I wanted to have. So here's an example. This is my adjusted image. So you may have to change the skin tones, change the colors of your photo so that way the computer knows what to attach to show you the correct details that you want. So if I go back to my original, you can see how I had to change those colors to make it work. Okay, so you might have to play around with this a little bit until you get something that you're happy with. Okay. So that's kind of a overview for the quick selection tool and adjustment layers. Now for the adjustments for your image, you guys can use the adjustment layers icon. I suggest changing the brightness contrast, move that a little bit, adjust levels, curves, exposure. Also, you can try invert, adjust the brightness or the vibrance here and see how that works. If you go to image adjustments, then you can also change the shadows and highlights, okay, to make sure that the details are shown in your image well. Any really dark areas, you brighten those up so that way you can see them once the threshold is applied. Okay. So I'm going to turn the threshold back on for this one. So now you can see how my threshold image looks. Okay. Once you have your threshold there, that's when you can start painting in your pop art colors from your color scheme. So one thing you can do when you're deciding on your color scheme that might help some of you is to actually go to Google and Google a color palette that you want to use for your image. Okay. This is a quick way where you can right click and save the image to your computer, and then you can open it up in Photopea in a separate document. And what you want to do with this is select the color picker box, and then remember how you can select images, select colors from your image. What you can do is select your color palette and click on the colors in your palette, and they will appear in the color picker here. You can press OK. Now it will change the color in this file, okay, where your palette is selected. But if you go back to your pop art picture, it will go away. But what you can do, click on the color picker icon, your foreground color, and that color should still be selected in your color picker from the palette file. Okay, so just hit OK. And as long as you're selected on the brush tool, then you're ready to go. So what you want to do is add a new layer, and you can see I have more layers here, but I'm just going to add a fourth one. I'm going to put it underneath of my image and make sure I'm selected on it. I can adjust the brush size, and then I can start to paint with that color from my color palette. Okay, and then I can just go around my subject in the areas that I wish to paint in. I can make my brush bigger, that way I can fill this in a little bit faster. Okay. And because it's pop art, think of this as paint. Look at some of the examples that I shared with you guys for pop art with Andy Warhol and how he created his images. Okay. And I'm just going to go around, just the different areas of my subject. If you go too far, you can press X, and, I can add back in some of the white in his face around there to just try and, fix up my design a little bit. Go back over shirt here. Okay. And then I can go right back to my color palette. I'm going to press X to put this mint color back up top. And then I'm going to select my next color and then press OK. I'm going to go back to my pop art. I'm going to hit here, hit OK. And then I can paint with the next color in the palette. Okay. So this is just a quick way you can do that. I also have another color palette here. So I'm going to select one of these colors, press OK, go back to my pop art, and it actually kept the color this time. So now I can just go right in and paint with this new color. Okay, So that's just kind of a quick demo on how you can use color palettes that you've already found in your design without having to go through the color picker and try and select the perfect color that you're looking for, which can be kind of time consuming. So if you can Google one and find one that you like, save that image to your computer, open it in Photopea, and then use the color picker to select the colors from that palette. Okay. All right. And then the last thing, okay, once you have created your different pop art designs using your color scheme, if you want to create the four square, okay, you want to make sure that you save each of them individually. So if I were to finish, do Control Z, so I can find my color again, okay, and I'll just fill this in for this example. So if this was my finished design, I want to say File, Export as a JPEG, hit Save. That will download to my computer. You can then save it to a flash drive if you have one, or just save it onto your device. And so remove this little box. And what you can then do is turn on and off each of your different layers and do File, Export as a JPEG for each of them. Okay, so I will do the same thing, turn this one on, turn this one off, change my colors, File, Export as a JPEG. Okay, now once you have all of those saved, the next thing you want to do is go to File and Open, and then you want to open each of your pop art images. So I'm just going to hold Control on the keyboard, and I'm going to select all four of the images I want to use in my four square. So I'm going to select 1, 2, 3, and this one here. Okay, so there's my four. I'm going to hit Open, and you can see that it will create 4 new tabs for all of my JPEG images. Okay, and you want to do it this way so that way you only have the image in one layer that will say background. If I try to use these, then I would have to merge all of my layers first to then try and move it, which can cause problems if you haven't saved each of your designs in a separate JPEG file. Okay, so now that I have all 4 of these images in their separate files, now what I can do is go to File and go to New. And what I'm going to do is rename this Pop Art Foursquare, okay, just to change it from the original Foursquare. You want to make sure you're still set on inches, set your width to 20 and your height to 20. This will double your document size to fit all 4 images in very neatly. So I'm going to hit Create, and just to back up a little bit, these images were already set to the 10 by 10 image, though I did not have this one set to the 10 by 10. Okay, so earlier I did save these as the 10 by 10s. Okay, so when I go to the Pop Art Foursquare document, I will have a 20 by 20 square, okay, for my background. So now what I can do is go back to each of the 4 JPEG images that were set to 10 by 10. I can click and drag the layer to my Pop Art Foursquare file, and then you'll see it will place that image into this new document. All right. So I believe that was my first one. Now I'm going to go to my second one. Click and drag the layer, drop it in. And at first they will all pop up in the same corner. But I can just go through and insert all of them into the Foursquare first. So now I have all 4. Now I can go to the Move tool and I can move these squares. Okay. Make sure you select it on the layer you want to move. And Photopea should create the little red line so you can kind of lock it in place. And now I have my Pop Art Foursquare. Okay, and this is showing all the different details that I did with my 4 different images. Now I have them all combined into one. So now you can do File, Export as a JPEG, save this, download it, and then you can insert this image into your assignment slideshow. Okay, so hopefully this helps kind of clear up any trouble that you might have with some of these tools, just a little bit of extra information for you, and a little quick demo on how to create the pop art Foursquare using Photopea. Okay, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out.